Hello, this is Lance, and you're watching Threadless TV, and we are here today with Martin Atkins. So can you tell us a little bit about your history, Martin?
I've done a lot of interesting, cool, groovy things in my life.
What's your name, please?
Martin Atkins.
I've been in a bunch of bands. I was in Public Image Limited with Johnny Rotten, Killing Joke, Ministry, 9 Inch Nails. I had my own band, Pigface. I teach. I just finished my book. I write a Tour Smart column. It's currently up on the Suicide Girls website. And you can read more about all of this at www.whogivesafcom.
You have an insane, awesome music history, but one thing I brought you in here is talk about your school, Revolution Number 3.
There's a lot of schools still teaching some fictitious music business. You know, hey, are you an artist? Come to our school and you know. There are no jobs in those fields. So I wanted to try and start to have people lift their heads open, rewire their brains and leave, maybe arrive thinking that there was a music business and they'd be a pop star or a radio DJ or a record producer, but learn enough along the way so that when that actually didn't pan out, they'd have these other skills of
right.
Looking at data, thinking on their feet, rewiring, hacking Xboxes, screen printing, coming on the road with me to set up a gallery or go to a convention, marketing something, you know, to make their way in the world, even though there isn't much of a music business anymore.
And you're also doing these weekend conferences, the Tour Smart Plus.
Mm-hmm. It's not a conference, it's like an experience. I'll talk about my stuff. We'll show you down and dirty video editing, screen printing, websites, just a bit of networking. The thing I'm proudest of with these weekends is a panel called the 7-Eleven panel. And instead of saying to somebody like yourself, well, you've done an awful lot, an hour and 90 minutes, right? It's 11 minutes. You've got to focus your mind and what is it that you want to say in 11 minutes.
Now you've designed quite a few t-shirts over the year yourself as well, right?
Yeah, I started screen printing by accident. I drove past this huge pile of screens when I was living in New Jersey. I went, what's that? I'll give those screens to my friend. He can stretch canvas on them. And I'm like, oh, I think ink will go through these holes. This is screen printing. So I started to make shirts using those screens. And at the time I said that the shirts were kind of a commentary of the community, because the community had made these shirts. It was like a police thing. Someone had a shirt that said happiness. Someone had a shirt that said you know. There's like an electrical company, you know, all this like basketball team. So I just combined it all together. Mickey Mouse, you know.
Oh, they don't have
and so I just learned to do that.
As a kid, growing up in rural Indiana, my favorite t-shirt was from your band Pigface, was a "Eat shit, you rednecks," which got me banned from a lot of public places in my hometown. But it gave me a lot of fond memories and letters to the editor.
There's some dangerous Invisible Records t-shirts. You know, you have to be careful. "Eat you rednecks" started off as a song.
Yeah.
We'd sing that to the crowd, and they'd sing along. And then what a great piece of performance art to then sell them the shirt.
Right.
And some of those shirts don't even say Pigface,
right.
which I love. It's just like people who know it's a Pigface shirt know. You know.
What was it like working with Johnny Rotten back in the day?
John defines charisma. You know, every manager in the world will say, the lead singer of our band is really charismatic. You know, it's a very overly used word. He had it. There's a dark side to it, which I didn't particularly like, but there's this other side where, you know, I'm behind him playing drums. I could have set my hair on fire, and people would have said, "What? My hair's on fire? The what?" You know, they're just transfixed by him. And 10,000 people at a show in LA, I remember, just all transfixed. And I think I was very lucky that because he was the lead singer of the Sex Pistols, we were afforded some terrific luxury from Virgin Records and Warner Brothers over here. I look back on my 5 years with Pill with tremendous fondness. I mean, it was wild.
Right.
We were punk rock.
That's awesome. Well, one thing you're doing a auction coming up.
Yeah.
For the Haiti relief, or
Well, we're doing a combination. Of course, just as we launch our fundraising auction to help fund the school, the disaster happens in Haiti, so we have to send some of that money down there. I'm selling my punk rock past to try and enable a punk rock future. And I've got the shirt that I wore on American Bandstand, pieces of the Ministry cage, Killing Joke scenery, all kinds of stuff from all of the bands I've been. It's insane. It's actually a little bit frightening.
So yeah, it's great. Thank you for coming in, and thanks for being who you are, and helping people come up with awesome new ideas and marketing.